and welcome to Down to Watch, the podcast that asks, are you down to watch? And what you will always find here is pop culture talk. I'm your host, Kahmeela, here to review movies, TV, and music, and just about anything that strikes my fancy. But for the next 6 episodes, we'll be discussing the Walking Dead spinoff, The Ones Who Live. I'm joined by my revisiting Sunnydale co-host, and YouTuber, Marcella.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. So glad to be here.
I don't think I've ever referred to anybody as co-star before. I have had no
co-star?
reason. Yeah, I've had no reason to use that verbiage in my life.
It just kind of fell out.
Yeah, that was it. That's what's going on. So we are talking about The Ones Who Live, episode 2, Gone. Mm-hmm. Today.
So good.
Oh my goodness. So before we started recording, Marcella, you had mentioned that, you kind of want to, watching this is making you want to go back to watch season 1.
Yeah, it's making me want to go back and start over because in the first episode, we looked at Rick and saw how desperate and like the despair he's fallen into in his journey. And it reminded me of when he almost did the same thing before he found Carl and Lori.
Yeah, Lori.
See, that's another reason I want to go back and watch it, because I hated her.
Hated it.
Yeah. And there's just all these little aspects of Rick's character that are kind of mirrored with this. It's like season 1 Rick and season 1 Rick are kind of the same again.
Yeah.
So I just kind of want to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's been a while. Not that long. Like I think I did rewatch it this past year, the first season. But just one of those. Oh, it's on in the background. So, but yeah, like from what I recall, there is some stuff, because we met Rick and it was like what, 3 episodes before, I think, before he found his family.
Before he found them, I think so. Yeah.
And he was like going through it, and it was it's one of those things, like that's such a powerful pilot episode of The Walking Dead, because I was in it from the beginning.
Oh yeah. I mean, you start with a dead child, you're like, oh. This is okay.
Y'all are doing something I have not seen. Okay, here we go. Yep. So yeah. So this episode of The Ones Who Live. Oh, and another thing that's like I had to look to see, because again, I probably wasn't paying attention when if it was originally explained to us, but the code names that Michonne and Judith have for each other over the walkie-talkies. I had to look that up, and I see that Michonne calls her Shoto, and her name is Daito, Judith for her, and the words mean short sword and long sword in Japanese.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah, and they're just throwing around Japanese all over the place.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Ready Player One, and there are 2 characters in that movie, Daito and Shito, and I never knew,
Really?
And I'm like, oh, that's what that means? Well, thank you, Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Judith has a short sword.
Yeah. It's so cute.
She has, Carl's hat, which I guess is Rick's hat.
Yeah.
Rick's gun, and a teeny little sword. Yeah. Which I've never seen Judith, so I've never seen her teeny little sword, but it reminds me of Needle with Arya.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. So you haven't watched any of the episodes with Big Judith?
No, not a one.
Wow.
I literally stopped once he got yeeted off that bridge. And I was like, well, this show's over. I'm out.
I no longer care about these people.
Yep.
And
part of me was like, this is bullshit. He doesn't die like that in the comic. I'm done. And I'm not even a comic fan. I was just like, that's too far. Now you've gone too far.
Well, I kept watching because of the way that he exited. I was just like, hey, he's coming back. He's coming back. And then they were coming back. And then they were teasing us with the movie. And then, COVID and lockdowns and happened. And then I'm glad we finally got this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we finally got this. So in this episode, we've got 3 important new characters. We've got Bailey, played by Andrew Batchelor, who I think I like watch he has funny videos on Instagram.
He is known as King Bach, and he was also in The Killer Babysitter. Is that what that franchise is called?
I haven't watched that.
The horror about they're funny and they're kind of gross and gruesome. And he's a comedian on Instagram. Some of his videos are funny, and some of them are just like,
Yeah, I don't know.
So when his face popped up, I was like, "Oh, you're gonna be serious? Oh, you were doing that now? Oh, I see. Okay, all right, try."
And I think, but I don't. Yeah, I think he's like with a group of people that I've seen him with on Instagram. But anywhoozles, and we also have Aiden, played by Brita Wool. And since you stopped watching, these two were there on Michonne's last episode on The Walking Dead. She runs into them, and then she tries to help them come back to their group. And then we've got MVP Nat, played by Matthew August Jeffers. R.I.P. MVP. Like he's
amazing.
It was such a great character. Like this guy really did so much, and there's so much screen presence that he exudes from the moment he walks in on set in the scene. And so, like, we start off this episode, and Michonne has helped. And what's really fucking me up is like these two have these names that are very and both of them could be either boy or girl. They're very Bailey and Aiden. And she's like meeting with their leader, who is Elle, I think. And this whole exchange is just like Michonne is she's like, they're thanking her for helping them. And Michonne's like, that's great, but I need some help too. Can I get a horse? And they keep trying. Yeah. Elle is just like, but won't you stay with us? And blah, blah, blah. And Michonne's like, I just want a horse.
Yeah, I just want a horse.
If you can't do that, fine. I'm out.
And she, like, we find out that that's her sister that she saved.
Yeah.
And turns out this community don't stop for nothing.
No.
Literally. They are a moving caravan. And it made me think of Snowpiercer. And I'm like, okay, so you're just constantly moving around. Where are you getting your supplies?
Yeah,
and
what are we doing? Yeah, and it's really fucked up, and that doesn't sit well with Michonne. And I also found it weird that this L person was like, "Thank you for saving my sister's boyfriend and my sister."
And my sister. She should come first, maybe.
That's such a strange wording of it. It's almost like I feel like you have some beef with your sister that we're not pervy to.
Right.
But okay.
Did your sister's boyfriend used to be your boyfriend?
Right. Exactly. That's what it feels like.
That's why she left you?
That's what it feels like. It's weird. So all this time, and then Nat comes in to like read her the riot act. He's like cussing her up and down and for leaving Aiden and Bailey, and then he notices, hey, they're okay. They're fine.
Wait. I'm out. You know the rear guard tried to stop me from going after them? Of course you do. Because I keep this place going. Well, I'm done. I'm packing my wagon, and the rest of my goddamn toys, too. She was your sister, and they were my friends. The system is bullshit, Elle. We're strong enough to stop. We're strong enough to save people. What the hell is the point otherwise? I mean, Jesus Christ, she was your sister.
Nat. I swear he walked past them when he came in the room. Didn't even know. He was so mad.
So angry.
Just focused.
It's like, I'm going to cuss this bitch out today. Elle he's been waiting for a reason to cuss her out.
And he just has so much personality. Yeah. And immediately I'm like, you're going to die. I know it. I know it. I like you so much.
I know. So he's just like this amazing, very matter of fact, no nonsense. He's not easily swayed by things or people. Nat has seen some shit in his time, and on the flip side, like Aiden and Bailey seem to be like really just pie in the sky. We love life, and even though things are sucking right now, and Aiden is pregnant, and so they're all just in love with love and each other, and
Mm-hmm. And they all love Michonne. Like, they immediately are just like, whoo-hoo, fangirling all over her.
They don't even know half the shit that she's accomplished.
No,
they just know they love her.
She saved me. They know that she saved them, and all Nat needs to know is that she saved them. That's it. Good people, we love you.
And Michonne
is a horse.
Yes. And Michonne keeps telling them, it's like, she keeps trying to tell them to leave this toxic community. It's like, they leave people to die. Why are y'all still in this?
You can make a different choice.
Right.
And they're like, nah, I don't think so. We're just gonna,
The devil is just kind of where they are.
Yep. And so I guess Michonne goes off to what is her last scene from her last episode, right? When she's running into the horde, or is that the last scene from the last episode?
Oh, yes. I think so.
Okay.
The last episode of The Walking Dead?
Yeah. That's the last time you ever see her, is her running into that horde.
I think so.
In the field.
If I remember. Everything's mixing together now, but yeah. And there's just a horde upon thousands of walkers. Like, I don't know. I mean, I like to believe. I like to believe that I'm I would, your husband, you want to go. It's like, they keep. Nat said that I could just go home. I should just go home.
He does he keeps telling her, you need to know when to go home, like when to leave. When to leave. Well, you know what, Nat? You need to know when to leave.
Right. Let's listen to yourself, because you're
Take your own advice.
So she's like on. She comes across all of this giant herd, and she's by herself. Oh, before she goes, like, Nat whips up this amazing warrior outfit for her.
Yes.
Like, she looks
cool.
She looks like it's
Super
a cross
badass.
between like the Woman King and Wonder Woman Amazon or something of that. Like, this is what it looks like, and it's like, that alone would have been like, Matt, you are my bestie.
Perfect.
Nat, you are my bestie.
You're coming with me.
It's like, I don't care what you think.
And second, she has more guts than any. I'm sorry. If I ride my horse into that valley, I'm like, Yep.
Yeah, we had a good run. We had a good run. I tried. I gave it
literally impossible.
I gave it the real good old college try. I've been out here for six years. This is going on. And another mention of and again, you didn't watch the last half of The Walking Dead, but once Rick left, it seemed like Michonne had nobody really left in her corner. Like, she had Judith and her kid RJ, but it just felt like there was nobody just there for her, and there was some bureaucratic
friends or anything.
Yeah, there was some bureaucratic reason that they were Maggie was pissed at her about something, and I think the other one, I forget her name, but Danny Masterson's sister, Alana Masterson, her character was mad at her. Carol was giving her side eye, and it was just all weird. I think maybe the only one that was still cool with her was Daryl. And it's just, that pissed me off so much for the long time. It didn't make any sense to me. There was no real clear explanation, but they eventually got over it, but still it wasn't cool. And so,
that's
which
not cool.
Makes me happy to see these three embrace her
and bond super quick. And, yeah. Nat also gave her a shotgun that kind of has these screaming missiles in them.
What do you call them? Scream sticks? And Nat, I keep wanting to call him Matt. Nat burns things and builds things. That's what he does.
Yep.
So apparently,
and she takes one of those and blows a big old hole into the herd.
It's so funny to watch her reaction to it. She's not sure. Is this gonna work? She just sees that it happens. She's like, holy shit.
Yep. And then we see that walker that had the gas cans tied to him again.
Yeah. How and why? I don't
know.
What had happened?
I don't know. He gets blowed up real good, and she gets hit by his head.
Knocked off her horse.
Head. knocked off her horse. Like, she had originally used the scream stick to divert the horde.
Right.
But
and
then
it worked.
out comes
and then this dude,
Gas Can Man.
Gas Man.
And then the horde's coming towards her again. Until her friends, new friends.
I gotta tell you, horses ain't shit, man. Like, they will leave you in a heartbeat. From what I've seen in movies and television, like, horses ain't about that life, about nothing. They're like, fuck you. You give them one opportunity, they're out.
Yep.
More people on The Walking Dead have been fucked up because of a horse leaving them.
Because doesn't he even say, I found your horse? Because that horse was like, nope.
Right.
Nope.
They're like, you fell off your horse. She's like, I didn't fall off of my horse.
I got knocked off my horse by a blown up man.
Yes.
But Nat also has some big explodey purple weapons.
Oh, Nat's the man.
He is the man. And he's got a crew with him. So they decided to make a different choice.
Yeah, he parts that herd like the Red Sea, man. It just...
Yep.
Evenly, they all just go away. So yeah, there's like a small group of them, along with Aiden, Nat, and Bailey, who also were like, "Yeah, it's not cool that they leave people to die. We should go with Michonne."
You think being a sister would get you some? No, not at all.
Left her whole sister.
One thing I frequently question about The Walking Dead, and my mom brought this up when we watched this episode, is, how is Michonne's hair so nice? It's so nice. It's so lush and so soft and so curly. Where is she getting product? And how is she keeping...
Where is she getting conditioner? How is she getting this? You've been... Okay, if she were still in Alexandria or Hilltop or wherever, I would accept it. She has a stable place to condition those locks.
Sure.
But you've been on the road for 6 years. Like, there's no way you're keeping up with that hair maintenance, my friend. And how is she shaving the sides? Like, is she using the sword?
I hope not.
Yeah. So the whole point of all this, like, them, I mean, they've left their toxic community, and they're going with Michonne, but also they feel like they should help her. And like I said, Bailey and Aiden are like super lovey, hearts in their eyes, and they're like, we want to be there when you reunite with Rick. I want to see it happen. And
it's like, how much of this story did you tell them?
Right. How long were y'all on the road together?
Right.
But also she mentioned to them originally that she's trying to get to what is the name of the place?
Whatever that thing is. I forget what that place is called.
Something Ridge, where she there was the boat where she found Rick's boots and the phone with the drawings on it. On their manifest, the last place was this place where she's going or something, or the next place where they're supposed to be going, something like that. She gets it in her mind, that's where she needs to go to find him. And they're saying, like, I think that the walkers now migrate north at some point. And so they're telling her it's a fool's errand. This shit is true. It's crazy. It's dangerous. But, Nat likes danger and he wants to help.
He does.
And he's a great person to have along.
Do the walkers go north and then come back south like birds? Do they migrate?
I'm not understanding what these walkers are doing. Like, I don't like.
Do they get a certain distance, bump something, turn around, and just walk back the other way and just keep doing it over and over again? Because
like birds have the sense to, they know what they're doing and they know why they're doing it. That's that. But I don't like. Where's the reasoning for a walker to be like, yes, it's winter time. Right. So we should probably go south.
We can walk longer. I don't get it.
And we still haven't even. Yeah, because again, like they left us with walkers turning doorknobs and climbing up ladders in the Walking Dead, and so I don't know what these walkers are up to anymore. There's no more. It's much like all the different vampire lore that changes through movies. Like I no longer understand what the Walking Dead zombies do. The group, Michonne and group end up in some little, what looks, I don't know, it's a desolate
Looks like Market Square.
little like yeah, that's what I was trying. Just like, those little like fake town kind of situations where it was popping. It was the Sunday brunch spot.
Yes.
Before the world went to shit. That's what this is. So they're all there, and then while they're there, a helicopter flies overhead, and they're like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" The fuckers bomb them with napalm,
mustard gas. I think it's I think it's mustard gas.
Yes.
And it's bad. It's real bad, and it goes from bad to
it's so bad.
Worse.
It's so...
because they can't breathe, they can't see, and so they're just staggering through this.
They're bleeding from their nose and mouth.
And then they come across, there's walkers here. We can't see for shit. And now we have to kill things. Luckily, Michonne is a badass.
Mm-hmm.
And tries to get everyone to safety. Once again, y'all, we're probably better off with the moving caravan. Following Rick and his people is a bad idea. You should have just stayed.
I know. It's like,
maybe not Bailey, Aiden, and Nat. Like, they should have probably come with, well, I mean, but the rest of the people that didn't know better, like, they definitely should have just stayed with the caravan.
This was like what? They got like what? 1-2 good days before shit just went real south, real bad, real fast.
Yep.
And they find this, what looks like a Bed Bath and Beyond.
Sure does.
That just
untouched.
Untouched. We are what, 15 years into the apocalypse, and nobody is holed up in that Bed Bath and Beyond
with perfect linens. Like, I don't care. I don't know about you. In a zombie apocalypse, I'm taking everything. I'm going to Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm going to Victoria's Secret. I'm stocking up on thongs. I don't wear thongs, but I'm stocking up on them because it could be currency or dental floss. I don't know. I'm taking everything. Everything.
It's all
everywhere.
Coming with me. Right. The display beds and everything are still just made up all nice and perfectly. Like, it just looks like they closed for the evening and just never came back. Like, it looks like there's nothing horrible has happened here, and I don't understand how this.
I don't understand
how we got like this. But luckily they did, and I think it's only like Baden. Yeah, sure, Baden and Nat.
Yeah, that works. Yep.
Who make it in there. And they are all just fucked up. They can't breathe. And Nat tells Michonne that she needs to find oxygen tanks. And again, are they just on their RV, or does she need to go find oxygen tanks somewhere?
I think they were just on the RV because she went and got like a whole wagon full of things that she brought in. But Bailey is so messed up that she's like, you need to tie her to the bed.
Right.
And it's finally, we talked about it last time, it's the first time they're showing us again in a long time that when someone dies, they're going to become a walker. Yep. She's not bit. She's not. Nope. She's just dying from the mustard gas.
Right. And they're all
and
just
by the time she gets back with the oxygen, she's gone.
Yeah. She's tied to the bed, but she is zombified. She is now a walker. And I think before Michonne left, she made her promise to like kill to end the pregnancy. Don't take a chance or something like that. But so, and this scene makes me so sad. So she finishes off Aiden, and then she goes into the next room and she sees Bailey trying to get to Nat. Zombie Bailey trying to get to Nat. Poor thing is protected by, like, he's behind the counter and a wall of fire on top. He is like, and it's just so heartbreaking. This shot of him so through the glass with the fire on top, and he's like all fucked up from the mustard gas, and he's just like, I couldn't do it. Thank you.
Definitely saves his life as they spend the next however long.
I think like a year.
It's so long. What are they eating?
Right?
Is there food in this Bed Bath and Beyond?
They had a year's worth of food on in their caravan, maybe.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe I guess they're just going in and out with like on the RVs or whatever was out there because they had food for enough people for who knows how long, but that number went down to 2 people real fast. Yep. So,
and they stay together and get better.
They heal and they get stronger and still find
watching her kind of work out but not be able to breathe. Like, she's the strongest person on this show.
I know. It's like, I don't like seeing you like this, all vulnerable and compromised, Michonne. Please get better. And Nat is still like trying to talk her out of this. He's like, well, actually, she's telling him, here's the map to Alexandria. I'm going to send you off and you go there. I'm going to go finish on my journey to find my man.
I go to your home and you go to Bridger's terminal? Should be the other way around.
This is how it's gotta be.
No.
Aiden and Bailey were supposed to go. They didn't. Now
This is all I got. Okay? You. That's it.
Yeah, so they're like all this time, like while they're both healing and getting better, there's also a lot of bonding happening. And, before all this went down, like Nat had kind of told her a little bit about his childhood, that, his real father skipped out on him because he was a shitty person, and his mom. And then at that point, that made Nat like to, be a pyromaniac, basically. Yep. He was just fucking shit up, destroying stuff, burning it. And then finally his mom remarried some guy named Danger. This is stepdad. Yep. And his stepdad saw something. Danger. And his stepdad saw something in him and started to like kind of trick him into building things and creating stuff. And so that's how Nat has become the person that he is. And again, like all this time, he's trying to tell Michonne to just like, it's okay to let it go. You gave it the try and blah, 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 and just give up. She's like, basically trying to tell him that love will conquer all, I guess, essentially. So now Nat has, they're both stronger now, and Nat has agreed. He's like, okay, I will go with you because I want to see this thing through with you. And, I ain't no punk. I'm not going to let you go by yourself. I'm no quitter.
That's all he's got, which was so sweet. He's like, this is all I got.
I know, which is the truth. Because like early on,
trying to make me go home.
Because early on, he had told her like, there's not a lot of people in this world that I like, even before all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And I feel you, Nat. Like, I understand, man. And he's just like, like two of them are gone now. Like, it was basically you three that I was just like kind of fighting for. And now 2 of them are out, and like, I need to know what, like, this is it, my friend. Yeah. I got nothing else here. And so they finally get to Bridger's terminal, and it's just a fucking wasteland.
Waste of time too.
Like, in the grand scheme of things, everything happens for a reason. Like, was it a good thing? Did Bridger's terminal get them closer to getting to Rick, or had they gone to Bridger's terminal? Michonne sees all these like burnt corpses and she's picking through them to look and see if she can perhaps identify Rick's dead body or at some point. She doesn't find him. Nat is like, it's okay. We can let this go now. You tried. Does going to Bridger's terminal and then they move on forward, or could they have like cut Bridger's terminal out completely and been on their way back to Alexandria and would have run into Rick at that point? Anyway,
they probably could have just taken him to Alexandria and been like, oh, hey.
Because that would have sucked.
And then we get the most adorable sentiment.
Wait, so while Michonne is finally, she feels like she's grieving him, as she's picking through the corpses and stuff, that reminded me of Maggie checking the bus for Glenn after they had all fled the prison. Remember when like there was a school bus full of walkers, and she's like, I have to know, and she like went on the bus.
Crazy Maggie.
But so she and Nat have a talk by the fire, and as Michonne's clutching his boots, Nat tells her what it says on the phone in Japanese. It says, "Believe a little bit longer."
Yep.
And he's telling her, you got to know when to go. And it's okay to believe that he's still out there and he's alive and he's okay, but you also got to go back to your kids.
Yeah.
And I kind of...
Because you got kids. Like,
right.
You can't just leave your kids.
There's multiple. And it's not like, you could just pick up yourself. Like, you got kids and you were out of range with your walkie. Like, you had like a decent situation going on where you could communicate with her, but you can't just easily just hop on a plane and get back to your kids or something. That's just not what's happening. You can't call and check in, send texts and photos. That's not
right. I do wish they would have shown, since we spent this, we spent the entire first episode with Rick. We're spending this entire episode with her. But whereas in the first episode, we spent time with him in his flashback, like memory kind of dreams, I wish we would have gotten a couple scenes of her talking to Judith on the walkie before it went out.
Yeah.
Just to see, and then maybe at the end or at this part here where she kind of just completely breaks.
Right.
If we would have just seen one little scene of Judith playing with the, doing the same in reverse, talking to her, even though she can't get through, still talking to her.
Yep.
But no, we don't.
It's a damn shame.
But we do catch up with present time, and Michonne is going back to some old season 2 tricks.
Yes, she is.
When we first saw her. And I love it.
Uses this walker as a pony, as a donkey.
Yep.
It's pulling her cart. It's like,
I approve.
Yeah. Yes. That's what you do. You don't have an available horse.
Off and you use them, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised no one in the history of this show hasn't amplified that with the hordes and just put these fuckers to work. Like, we have to rebuild.
Exactly.
Cut their arms off and make them pull to make us food. But Nat, MVP Nat, Nat, I guess, because I kind of feel bad about this, but Nat killed Okafor with his screaming stick.
Right. When they get into
because now our timelines have converged.
Yeah, they get into this clearing, this field, and Nat's like, oh, fuck, there they go. It's the helicopter again. Like, it's them again. And Nat, Michonne's like, I'm not letting them get away from this, or I'm not running. He's like, oh, I'm not either. I got plans for that ass. That's not gonna happen.
And he pulls out this rig that like attaches to his shoulder, and I'm like, you protect this boy. Somebody protect. He is the future of this apocalypse. And for some reason, they just decide to stand out in the middle of the field with no cover. Like, you just shot them down. They're not dead, so at least hide behind a tree.
Yeah, they're just waiting for them to just like come through and find them, which eventually happens. They come running out and just like ready to attack, obviously, to defend themselves, and Michonne goes to work the way Michonne does. And she starts picking them off one by one with her sword, and the way she's like grabs them up and look at me.
Because she's got some trauma she's working through. She's upset about her new friends.
Yeah.
Because she lost Bailey, Aiden, and a baby. Like,
yeah, all in like one night, all for no damn good reason, and because of them. And also she had just decided to give up the search for Rick as well, so she's mourning that, whatever's going on. And so it's just, she's going through a lot right now. And then finally she comes up on Rick, and like she swings down with her sword, and damn it, if that iron fist didn't save his life.
Right? Again, I'm thinking of Game of Thrones and Jaime and his golden hand. I'm like, damn that hand! But she's thinking of Judith and of RJ, which Rick still does not know about that, or does? He does not.
He doesn't. Because when they get together here, she at some point, he's like, how's Judith? And she's about to say something, but then she realizes, she's like, no, once we leave, I'll tell you about that.
We'll see. And then I was going to lose my shit if it ended here like it did last week. I was going to throw my TV across the room.
I thought for sure that was going to be it too.
I was like,
But no.
If you do this again.
Hallelujah. She gets to him and luckily she pulls his mask off before she slits his throat, and she sees Rick, and oh my God, the
looks.
The way I cheesed when they reunited. Oh my goodness gracious.
So happy. Because it's so natural between the two of them. Like, they've been apart for 6 years and they're just like, babe.
I know.
No hesitation. No,
it's like, I found, like, and immediately they just go right in. Like, basically, like, the first three things Rick says is like, I found you. How's Judith? I'm not with him. Like, this dude, poor Rick has like 5 minutes to like catch up, explain, to work out a plan, to like get her out there. It's just like,
and he's like, oh shit. They're
like,
gonna
right.
be here.
It was like, oh
second.
listen, right? You're not Michonne. Don't tell him who you really are. You gotta have a fake name. Don't talk about Alexandria. Get rid of all your personal shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that dude your friend? Like, I'm gonna give you the 30 seconds to mourn, but we gotta go.
And we gotta blame it all on him.
You gotta leave your sword. That's it.
Yep.
So you have another name. It's that you came out of the forest and you saw the soldiers being attacked. You were part of a community that fell years ago, someplace small.
Yes.
Don't show them who you are.
There's just so much information to process for poor Michonne at that moment.
And she's just like,
what? Wait a minute, what?
She's still just like, but I found you.
Let's go. Let us away. I don't understand why are you giving me all this where we should be running? Like, let's just go. And it's just,
she just wants to hug up on him.
I know. And he's just got this she's got this realization on her face, like, oh, okay, it's you, but it's not you. You changed. You've gone through some stuff, my friend.
Poor Nat did make it through the like little battle.
And he comes up and is like,
see them.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, is that him? And she's like, just all cheesy. She's like, look, bestie, this is my boo. Like, I'm so happy to introduce y'all finally. And then just shot right in the chest. And
because apparently one of the people that Michonne, she missed one, maybe?
I guess so. She missed one or just didn't complete the job fully.
And poor Nat gets shot through the back.
Ugh, so awful.
He dies.
So and so in order to sell this, Rick has to take her into custody, and he tells her to put her hands up, surrender to him, and he pulls a gun on her, but he's like, I love you. And
yeah. It's so weird.
And again, you see, like, there's this beautiful close-up on Denai's beautiful fucking face. And she is, like, conveying all of these emotions so subtly, and we're seeing everything within her eyes, like, this is fucked up, but this is my dude. I trust him. What he's saying, I don't believe it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening, but I gotta come up with a story. Like, it's all in her face.
Yeah. It's like, here we go again. Like, isn't that what happened when they first got to Alexandria? Like, she had to kind of downplay when they were with Deanna and did all their video interviews and everything.
I mean, sort of, but the only one who was really, like, working that was Carol. Carol was the motherfucker. Like, she was the one that was like, oh, silly me.
I'm a baker. I make cookies.
Is that the wrong end of the gun again? Oh, I'm so...
This episode seemed a lot longer than Rick's, or just so much more happened.
Yeah, because like even after this is like, oh, we still got them getting to the CRM.
Right. Like, you would have thought that close up on her face would have been the end, but no, we got to do another interview with somebody else. Except this time she's kind of doing the opposite of what she did at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning, she's like, very matter of fact and strong, and this is what I need from you. I did what I did, but, if you can't help me find them out. Here, she's like, she plays the role well. She's like, my name's Dana.
My name is Dana, and I've been out there a long time by myself. So long that it's strange to hear my own voice. I was in Georgia for a long time with my boyfriend and about 40 people. Some leaders that I thought were good. My sister Elle. And then things changed. They changed. I saw it. I knew we should go. You always really know when to go.
And what was your weapon of choice out there?
Bow staff. I lost it like months ago. I've been making do with that knife.
Does it bother you that you're being observed?
No. I just haven't seen myself in a while.
And even like her voice is just like all lighter and just a version of, because I haven't seen Deny in a lot of things. Obviously, I think it's just Black Panther and The Walking Dead.
This and yeah, very much.
So this is a new character that that she shows us, and she's just lighter, and she just talks about how bow staff was my weapon of choice. I've been by myself for so long, and how it seems weird to hear my own voice. I was by myself for so long, and she's like looking in the glass.
I like that part.
Yeah,
that part was good.
She looks at the glass.
I haven't seen myself in a while.
Which I guess is also probably true for. Well, maybe not, because they were in a Bed Bath & Beyond. She had to have had to have been mirrors there. But it was a nice touch.
Conditioner and lotion and all kinds of stuff.
But it was a nice touch.
But she's also not lying at this point either, because she kind of sees what the CRM has there and what's going on. And she has always looked for a place to not just exist and get by and make it through. She's looking for a place to live. So this little fib is not exactly a fib. It's somewhat true. She has been looking for a place like that.
Right. And she's taking bits and pieces of her own life too, because how long was she out by herself for the long time before she ran into Andrea? And she was with her boyfriend at the beginning of the apocalypse. And she even she talks about her sister Elle, which is the woman, which was like Aiden's sister.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then we get what might be my favorite part of the whole episode.
Oh my God.
She's just walking along in her little CRM uniform, and a guard snatches her up, and her face. I'm like, y'all are being sus.
It's like,
Somebody is watching.
Y'all are nasty. Look at you.
Yes.
Look at you.
You're in here 5 minutes and y'all already pulling her in. And come on now.
This is what fan fiction starts as. Like, he just swoops her into the warehouse, and the look on her face, she's like, oh, I know.
Yep.
And they start going at it. And then I think it's just now is when she notices that he's missing a hand, because that hand is usually on her ass.
Yep. And instead it just kind of plunked on her waist.
It's like, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Yep.
Like, listen, the way...
What's weird is I feel like they don't talk very much. Like, I feel like he talks at her a lot in this episode. And I feel like she just looks at him a lot and reacts to what he says. But not a lot is said in return.
No, and I think it's more she's trying to figure it out. Like, trying to figure out who he is now. Because, yes, it's Rick. Yeah, I think that was one of the things Nat asked her is, like, is he still the same? Like, is he still who you remember? And she's like, yeah, he's the same. I can tell. But Michonne also knows, like, okay, for him to have gone through all of this, and, like, even when he mentions, like, when she's like, what happened to your hand? He's like, that happened the last time I tried to escape. And she's like, the last time? Like, what?
What do you mean?
But she's there. Like, they're in it. They're, like... And she's like trying to strategize. She's like, okay, we're here now. I'm here now. We're together. Let's get the fuck out. Let's go. And he's like, not that easy. Lost a hand. I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you.
She's just kind of like,
What's also funny is like while she's like literally still trying to strategize, he just wants to make out.
Yep. But it's been 6 years.
6 years. Like I get it, Rick, man. I get it. And he mentions, so this is the point where he asks about Judith again, and she almost tells him about RJ, and she's like, and he's like, what? She's Judith okay? She's like, yeah, she's fine. More when we leave. I'll tell you more when we leave. I don't know if that was the right call.
No, I don't think it was.
I think him knowing about RJ would have been ready to hop the fence right then and there. I think.
He does a nice thing though, and he gives her Nat's lighter.
Yeah.
Which is really sweet.
So sweet. And he mentioned
then
something
they come out
about
of the building.
Well, yeah, like he mentioned something about the ones in red go out and they come back covered in blood, and and the rest of them don't like know what they're doing. So I don't know. I'm still not 100% clear on how bad the CRM is and what makes this such a terrible place to be, aside from that your kids aren't there now. So I don't. So we shall see.
That was one of the things that other than the fact that they destroyed Portland and they destroyed, they dropped the mustard gas, like they have their way of dealing with other threats,
right?
But the core of the CRM, from what we've seen, is not terrible,
right? Like the everyday people that live there and the everyday existence, like it's literally like I feel like it's no different than army, than like military,
right? Yeah. So I never understood why he didn't just ask for his wife and kid to be brought there.
Right. That's what I'm not getting.
Would that have made him an A, and then that would have changed
the whole trajectory?
Why not just ask? Yeah.
I don't understand, because now we've got, while Michonne goes off after they have their little rendezvous, which I am not satisfied with this. I would like much more smoochies, please.
Yes, please.
And I would like Michonne to visit his apartment. Thanks. And so after they part ways, Michonne is just like walking around trying to get the lay of the land, and she, sees what's all there. And while this is happening, Rick goes back to his apartment, and fucking crackhead ass Jadis.
I like her.
I like her
because she's such a dick and weird.
Yeah,
so
like
weird.
that's okay. I hate the character, and that's because I'm supposed to, and I appreciate that, and I accept that. She's doing a great job at making me hate this character, because I have I have gone back and forth. I've gone on this fucking journey with Jadis since she showed up as garbage lady, and then
trash lady,
right, with her
weird double speak,
right. And she had like a little thing with Gabriel for a hot second. Like it was just, she's had like a nice little arc here.
Now
I don't know why her haircut is so fucked up.
6 years. 6 years.
No, he did not touch that woman.
I think he might have touched that woman.
He did not. If he did, it was sexual assault. If that had happened,
that is also possible.
Yes, he was
because
flat out.
Remember, she did say, "I lie with that man."
Right.
I'll lie with that man. Because I saw that scene, and Michonne was just like, "Let's just get back to work."
Such a great scene. I love that bit. But if they lay together, it was he was coerced, he was threatened, he was highly drugged or intoxicated and taken full advantage of, because I do not see Rick.
No.
I see
what I like about Jadis?
I would have seen Rick I'm not trying to say Rick ain't hung anybody in these 6 years.
Right.
It wouldn't be Jadis.
What I like about Jadis, her dick is bigger than everybody else's on that base. Even Beals.
Yes.
Even Beals.
Yes.
Because she's treacherous.
This scene with her and Rick, and she's just like, she's like, I knew it. She's like, hey, she found you. And if anybody was going to find you, it's going to be Michonne. It's like, I know who she is. Like, you can try to hide her, but you know what? I'm just going to keep that here. I'm going to keep that between us.
Yep.
And,
but if anybody finds out about her, I'm going to kill everybody you love.
Exactly. Know this. If y'all motherfuckers try to escape, everybody you love is dead. And I love when she's like, we've exchanged a lot of languages. We exchanged language. Yes.
Yes. She's so weird. That's why I love her. And she's so neat. But I want to know how she got from where she was to where she is.
Yeah. Like
because she was kind of on the fringes 6 years ago, just bringing people in.
Right.
Now she has fully enlisted, and she's like an officer.
Yeah, she's ahead of somebody. So her main concern is that she's like, I wasn't worried about you getting out so much, but you and Michonne. It's like y'all together are a mighty match, and like she's seen it firsthand. She knows. She mentioned something about a long-standing deal, and she doesn't elaborate, so we don't know what that is.
That's why I think they touch each other. I think part of the deal is that she gets to touch him, and she won't kill him. I think, sadly, that is part of their deal.
I think Rick would have gladly said yes to the open arms of death at that point.
That's why he kept trying to escape. Because he did not want to touch Jadis anymore. So he is trying to get away. And they just keep bringing him back. But this show is good.
It's so
the show
good.
Is like season 1 Walking Dead good.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Cannot wait till the next episode.
Exactly. I'm counting down the days until the next episode every time. And I'm going to hate when it ends, but I feel like they're going to give us a complete story as to where we're not going to feel like we're missing anything. Like once we say goodbye to these characters, we'll be okay with saying goodbye to these characters.
Yeah. Now there have been I've seen some videos on the YouTubes. There's some speculation that this could all culminate in an episode that brings everyone from every show back together. And I'm like,
I don't know if I
have time for that. We just don't have. We have 4 episodes left. We do not have time to bring Daryl from France.
No. Can we just please
Negan
concentrate?
and Maggie from New York. We can't. We don't have time.
Just concentrate on Rick and Michonne. Like all I care about them is getting them back to Judith and RJ. Those are the only other people that I care about them coming back to. Like just enough. We don't need everybody. We don't need a whole fucking Brady Bunch reunion.
No.